Gibbo presents.
It's Gibbo, and right now I'm joined by a man who first burst onto the scene in the mid-80s and who hasn't looked back since. One of only two British reggae acts to reach number one in the US Billboard singles chart. He is currently promoting the release of his new album, Easy to Love. It is Maxi Priest.
What's up, Gibbo?
Maxi, how are you feeling after a week of travelling up and down the country, doing some real serious promotion for this album? Are you still feeling fresh and full of life?
I am. You know what? I've gained energy, King. I've like gained a whole. It's like I've snowballed. You know, everywhere I've been so far, everybody's just giving me this excellent vibe and this energy and this drive to just want to just push forward.
The promo campaign for Easy to Love really has been an extensive one. Not only have you been up and down the country doing interviews, but you also went old school and did a meet and greet at HMV in Manchester before you embraced new technology and did a BBM chat with your friends on Friday. Is it more important now than ever to make sure you cover all the bases like this when it comes to promo?
I think definitely so, because so many people are using so many different parts of the technology, and also people are just trying different things. You know, we're in that time right now where it's wide open. You know, I personally was surprised when we actually thought of doing HMV for signing signing for CDs and stuff like that. But wow, what a turnout, and what a wonderful surprise. I mean, you know, you tend to kind of sometimes get lost with the technology, thinking that everything really is all about the technology. But the way I see it's like two different worlds. It's like there's an internet world, and then there's still the beautiful world that we've had from so long.
To me, Easy to Love, the album, has a sound which is reminiscent of the material you've released in the past, but with a twist, meaning that it doesn't sound dated or from a time gone by. Would you agree with this?
Oh, most definitely. King, I don't know if you can feel me right now, because honestly, I am on a high. You know, the love that I have got from day one that we've put out Easy to Love to putting out the album Easy to Love. You know, everywhere that we've been, everybody's given me their own personal favorites on the track. It's an album where I feel so confident that, you know, I feel like I'm walking with an army.
Were you aiming for a certain sound, or did you just go into the studio, record some material, and see what you came out with?
Well, I think it's part and parcel, because the whole thing really started from Bobby York, who produced the song Easy to Love. The rhythm track was brought to me by Big Dread from Wolverhampton. He came up to the studio to do some dub plates with me, and he played the rhythm track for me, and I thought, damn, I want to put a song on this, man. So I wrote the song, and then he explained to me that the track actually belonged to Bobby York. So I put my vocal on it. I sent it to Bobby York. The next day he called me and he was like, "Yo, King, we got to release this like now. I ain't waiting on no record company or nobody. I'm leaking this thing now." And I was like, "Do your thing, man. Do your thing." And when he put it out, the love that I was getting from north, south, east, west of the world, people calling me from all over the place, it was like VP them caught hold of that, and they started to holler at me and said, well, you know what, we need to do an album. We need to take this, because the love that we're getting on this particular track, we need to do an album. And that's really where the whole thing started. I guess that it wasn't that we weren't looking for a specific thing, but at the same time we allowed space for inspiration to come from elsewhere. Yes, we wanted to do a lovers rock album. We specifically went for that. That's why when you look on the album, we chose songs like the John McLean song, the cover of John McLean, which I think is a fabulous song.
There's a remix of Easy to Love which doesn't actually feature on the album, with Stylo G, a UK artist whose profile and following has increased by a huge amount over the last couple of years. How did this remix come about?
Well, to be honest with you, it really came from VP in the UK, because I was away at the time. I was away on tour, which I normally do anyway. You know, they said that they wanted to take it and they wanted to do something with it. So we said, okay, then no problem. You know, and then they said, boy, we want to use Stylo G on it. And I've heard of Stylo G, and I know some of the stuff that he's done. So I'm like, okay, cool, you know, no problem. I'm always into kind of helping people out in who we're in the same business together. So this is what we're supposed to be doing, you know. And when they sent it back to me, I was happily surprised. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, nice. And I really liked his approach, the way that he approached the track, you know.
So do you see it as your duty almost to work with, help out, and offer advice to younger artists, especially those who also hail from the UK?
I think that it's all of our duty. It's all of our duty to help people in any kind of way that we can. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you've been in the business for a while, then there's no reason why you can't pass on your experiences to other people. I think if you don't do that, then you can't grow yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because don't forget, you know, people that come into the business, that have just come into the business, can also teach me stuff, just as much as I can teach them stuff that we've done in the past. You know, because some of the past might not even be relevant to now, but it's just good to know. And then some of what is new might not be relevant, but there is some good stuff that people can teach you to try different things. I'm one of those kind of people that I like to look outside the box. I like to push the envelope. So my ears is always open, from the baby to the eldest person in this world.
Not too long ago, you also did a song, Rough Diamond, with Gappy Ranks. Another one of another one of the new crop of UK reggae artists. What are your thoughts on the next generation of artists coming through from this country? People like Gappy, Stylo, Christopher Ellis, Randy Valentine. Does the future look bright?
You know, I heard this Randy Valentine kid the other day on Natty B. Fantastic. I think he's off the train. He's right on the money. You're talking about Gappy Ranks. All those people that you've just called there, right? Ellis's son, all of them are on the money. They are doing the right thing. They just need to know that you cannot sit still and expect the world to come to you. They've got to just kind of get on the ball with their thing and move. You know, Europe, the States, just keep moving and gathering people as they go along, you know, and keep that momentum going. I think that's one of the problems happened to us back in the day when we started off this Lovers Rock thing. I think that a lot of people kind of got a little bit complacent about the thing and expected the world to come to them, and I think the result is there, the fact that we lost a lot of momentum from that time to now. But hopefully this new generation can see through some of the mistakes that we've made over the years and grow from it.
If I'm correct, you've got houses in the UK, Jamaica and America. Where do you spend most of your time when you're not promoting an album or on tour?
Really, I try my best really to kind of hang with my families, and basically, that could be in the States, it could be in Jamaica, and it could be in England. I would say that I spend a lot of my time now in the States. America is a wonderful and fantastic place, very inspiring. Again, like I was saying to you, it allows you to think outside the box. It allows you to dream. It allows you to think that, anything is possible. Yes, I love to come home to England, and I love to hang out with my peeps, them from way back when. I still have my friends, them from like 5 years old. So, I see myself as a worldlian king. I am a part of this world. So, I have a love for humanity, no matter which color, class, or race you may be. This is how I am. I am now. My life doesn't only belong to me; it belongs to the world, and I'm just trying to live that life for myself and everybody else.
This is your first official release on VP Records, although I believe they have dealt with the distribution of some of your previous releases. Can you compare the experience of working with recording and promoting an album with VP as opposed to the other labels you've worked with in the past?
Well, when you look at some of the major companies, obviously they're called major for a reason because they got a massive machinery, and obviously there's a level of investment that they put into the situations that you have to kind of come to the table and you have to kind of work with them in respective of you bring something to the table, they've got to bring something to the table, they've got to feel like they are a part of the dollar that they're spending. Which is understandable, and there's no problem in that. But it's just that sometimes I think we kind of got lost along the way with misunderstanding of not understanding my culture and kind of understanding where I was coming from to where I was trying to go. And we might sometimes end up with albums where, when I took them home to play for my brothers and sisters or my friends, there may be 1 or 2 tracks on the album that I would kind of cringe a little bit and think, well, boy, I don't know what they're going to say or how they feel, or maybe I'm going to have to explain this to them, which is vastly different from working with VP in a home that knows where my culture lies, where I come from, where it is that I'm trying to, or we're all trying to get to. And it kind of makes life a lot easier where you don't have to keep explaining everything. Going out on the road with Virgin, them doing marketing and all that kind of stuff, it'd be like, I don't mind doing some marketing here, but how about over here where maybe some of my peoples them have sound systems or stuff like that, so that I can make sure that they know what's going on. And sometimes I felt like, with major company, we alienated some of the street a little bit. Whereas with VP now, it starts, it starts with the streets, and then we rise from there, So that's why I just feel like I'm carrying a whole army with me.
Did you have more creative control with regards to this album as opposed to previous releases?
Yes, I mean, most definitely. With other major record companies, yes, you have creative control, but I guess it would be more like a 75-25% them. And then with VP them, it wasn't so much that I wanted to have control. It's just that we knew the people that we wanted to work with, and by knowing the people that we wanted to work with, we somewhat understood what they could bring to the table. And when you got people that know exactly and understand exactly, as I said before, where the thing is coming from to where it should be going, then you can relax and you can somewhat not feel like you're having to fight every little move,
What are your expectations or goals for this album in terms of sales?
Well, quite honestly, I am trying to blow this thing out of the roof. I want my peoples them to get behind this, not only for me, but for all of us, and also for VP Records. And listen, we want to make this thing move so that we can present this thing into the national charts and into the US Billboard charts, so that people can understand that we can make this thing happen just like any other recording company can, and just like what Jay-Z and Kanye West and all those guys are doing. There's no reason why we can't somewhat come together and push. And when I say this, it doesn't necessarily have to be me. It could be Barry Salmon, it could be Budget, it could be Chronics, it could be any of them guys. We have to go out of our way, and we have to go and purchase these CDs and make a contribution to the thing, so that we can move it along. And then when we move it along, it gives us more of a voice to speak.
There's been a lot made in the past couple of years of the poor sales of some reggae albums, particularly stateside. Do you have any thoughts on why you think many reggae albums, some of them from pretty high-profile artists, have failed to be a success when it comes to the amount of units sold?
Well, there's twofold of reasons. I mean, the one, for how people are purchasing the music, where they're purchasing it from, and also still kind of educating our audience that you have to physically go out there and purchase the thing. You cannot expect the thing to grow if you're ripping it or loading it from the internet or from somebody else. There's no way that we're going to be able to grow our own icons and our own successful people if we are ripping from the artists or from the business. Then of course, then we're going to be a nation without any kind of kings or queens or leaders.
Finally, on Friday, you're going to be performing at Glastonbury, the iconic festival here in the UK. Am I right in thinking you've appeared there before?
People keep asking me that, and it sounds really funny that I answered the fact that I don't know. And that's because, obviously I've been doing a lot of touring for the last 20 odd or more years around the world and doing different festivals, and I guess I really should remember that, whether I've done Glastonbury or not. But to me, it's not about the places. To me, it's about performing for the people, because at the end of the day, it's them that come there for the enjoyment, and that's what I'm about. It don't matter where you put me, I am I am there to perform and make people enjoy what it is that I bring to the table.
Well, before I did the interview, I did a little bit of research online, Googled it, and I think in 1986 you appeared at Glastonbury, but you best go and check the facts yourself and make sure if they're correct.
You know what? You see what I'm saying? And it's been so long, and I think that I have done it. And it's just weird, and people might find it weird that I'm sitting here going, did I or didn't I? But you know, there's so many places that people come up to me in the world and say, boy, do you remember playing here in Iceland? Or do you remember playing here, you know, in Oakland or somewhere else? And it's like, boy, my mission is really to just keep pushing forward. One day my time will come when I will sit down and read back through my history and probably enjoy that with my grandkids and their grandkids, I guess.
Thanks a lot, Maxi. Just before I let you go, let everyone out there know where to go to purchase a copy or to download Easy to Love, and also how they can stay up to date with everything you're doing via social media.
Well, first of all, you've got www.maxipriest.com. Then you've got The Real Maxi Priest on Instagram. Then you've got Twitter. And anything on the internet you put in Maxi Priest, I'm sure you will find me. There's not too many people out there named Maxi Priest. You can also go to VP, all the Twitter, Instagram, and all their situations, and then obviously you got your iTunes, your YouTube, and any local record stores that you have around yourself, and obviously HMV, and anyone that I've missed out. Please just go to the internet and Google something. I'm sure you will find it. The album is called Easy to Love, because I am easy to love. And most importantly, I wanted to thank everybody for their support over the years, not only for my music, but for reggae music on a whole. We need you, because without you, there is no us. And without you or us, there's nothing. God bless you.
Gibbo.